morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of February 2024. And we are bringing to you AFCON Daily, your daily magazine of the African Cup of Nations taking place in Ivory Coast. It is, of course, the most prestigious tournament in the continent. Today, we will be looking at semi-final matches for this particular tournament, and those who are going to play the finals on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Today, our very first game of tonight is going to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria clash with the Bafana Bafana of South Africa at the Stade de la Paix, the 40,000 capacity stadium in Bouaké at exactly 6 p.m. West African time. The central referee for that game is Omar from Egypt. Omar from Egypt is our central referee. For Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, we always bring you statistics, head-to-head meetings, and why not a total match preview. And you can see as well to know which team stand the chance of making it through to the next round. We are talking about the finals of this prestigious tournament. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, this is their 15th African Cup of Nations semi-finals, which they are making the wonderful appearance. And 5 of the last 6 semi-finals of the Super Eagles, they lost 5 of the last 6 semi-finals they lost, except in 2013, where they went through and they lifted the trophy, and that particular edition was organized by South Africa. It is, of course, an intriguing one where they tied record against South Africa. Super Eagles of Nigeria against South Africa, they have a very tight record with 6 meetings, and Super Eagles able to snatch just 1 victory, 4 draws, and 1 loss. Coming from 4 successive wins to nil, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, they are looking forward to qualify for the final stages of this particular tournament. Is that going to be possible? The Bafana Bafana of South Africa is the one that is going to stand on their way, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa, they have endured extra time to beat Cape Verde on penalty shootouts, and goalkeeper Ronwen Williams, he of course was the hero behind that victory in their quarterfinals game. The first shot stopper in AFCON history in 4 penalty shootouts so far. Rodwin Williams is, of course, he made history in that particular game against Cape Verde, where he had to stop 4 shots, a record-breaking history there for the Bafana Bafana of South Africa. He is, of course, the hero of that particular team as we speak at now. He, of course, secured Bafana Bafana first ever semi-finals since in 24 years. Of course, this is their very first semi-finals in 24 years for the Bafana of South Africa. Ominously, it was the Nigerians who beat them in their last semi-finals. Like the Super Eagles of Nigeria, South Africa are on a run for 4 clean sheets, ladies and gentlemen, suggesting that the clash could well be keggy and a tense affair. This, of course, where we will be putting our eyes on key players like Williams, Truce Ekong, who usually for Nigeria, Williams, Truce Ekong from Nigeria, usually on an unlikely source of goals, as he netted the winner last time that these two sides met in 2019. Teboho Makwena from South Africa, of course, is a player we need to put our eyes on to see what he has to offer on the pitch. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, 4 of his last 5 goals has served as the last of the game so far. And for a very tricky and hot statistics for you out there, only 1 of South Africa's last 10 African Cup of Nations games saw both teams score. And for a record head-to-head meetings, these two sides have met 6 times in their last 6 African Cup of Nations meetings. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, 1 victory. Bafana of South Africa, 1 victory. And both sides have parted way with 4 draws. This is, of course, a very tricky encounter which we are bringing to you this particular juncture. It is, of course, going to be a clash. You know, 2 giant nations in Africa known for a very good and vibrant economy, and why not? We call them the Eye of Africa, the Bafana of South Africa and the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the 40,000 Stade de la Paix, Bouaké in Ivory Coast, 6 p.m. West African time. We are going to see this game being officiated by referee Omar from Egypt, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I don't know who you are rooting for. Let us know in the comment section who you think is going to make it through to the final stage of this game, where we see our Super Eagles of Nigeria take on the Bafana. I will be right back with our second semi-final games. I will be right back with our second semi-final encounter, the host versus the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Referee Ibrahim Mohammed from Libya is going to be our officiating officer for this particular encounter, where host Ivory Coast will be taking on the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo at exactly 9 p.m. West African time at the 60,012 capacity Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara, ladies and gentlemen, in Abidjan. This is, of course, the second game for marking semi-final matches of the African Cup of Nations. I will tell you that it is, of course, a very tight one, and the host Ivory Coast are on another run to make it through to the finals. And why not lifting the trophy as the host? It was, of course, a tight one for them. After qualifying from group stages by the skin of their teeth and replacing their manager in mid-tournament, ladies and gentlemen, the hosts have come through 2 grueling knockout ties, eliminating favorites of the tournament, Senegal, before seeing off Mali in the quarterfinals. Their roller coaster ride in this campaign is making for one of their international football's all-time great stories, ladies and gentlemen. Despite their 2 men sent off, Emes Faes men got the 90th minute goal equalizer to go through to extra time. This is, of course, their very first semi-finals since 2015, where they last won the tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, they have been successful in 3 of their last 4 semi-final matches. This is how the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire have their own records, and history says that their home fans are, of course, believing strongly now that the host can actually be the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, that is, of course, for the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, where those who stand on their way, they know other people, but the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo, who are, of course, standing on the way of the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, locking horns. The Democratic Republic of Congo, they have reached 3 semi-finals since the country was last renamed in 1997. Like their opponents, their route here has been far from plain sailing after failing to win any of their group games, having 3 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leopards, they needed penalties to beat the Pharaohs of Egypt before cruising past Guinea 3-1 in the quarterfinals. And of course, they lost against Ivory Coast at this particular stage of the tournament in 2015, putting an eye on some players who still took part in 2015. They are, of course, coming for total revenge in this particular encounter. It is, of course, our own Serge Aurier from Ivory Coast, who scored the penalty shootout where they had a victory over Senegal, and he also played full-time at the semi-finals head-to-head meeting back in 2015 against the Democratic Republic of Congo. As well, our center back, Chancel Bemba from the Democratic Republic of Congo, he also started that particular day in 2015 against Ivory Coast, and he will, of course, be coming back to make a wonderful revenge. Is it going to be a wonderful revenge? Is it going to be fruitful for the Leopards, ladies and gentlemen, as our hot statistics states clearly that from the Democratic Republic of Congo, their last 11 matches, they have never taken a lead at half time. This is, of course, a summary of what these two sides they stand to face each other. History is on the side of the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. As well, they are hosts in this particular tournament. Are they going to make it through? Ladies and gentlemen, their last 5 head-to-head meetings in African Cup of Nations saw the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire with 2 victories and the Leopards with 1 victory, and both sides parted ways with 2 draws. This is, of course, a very interesting match, a very interesting game I bring to you, and to let you know that this is our last game for the semi-final matches of the African Cup of Nations 2023 in Ivory Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 p.m. West African time at the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara in Abidjan, 60,012 capacity stadium. And our central referee for that game is, of course, Ibrahim Mohamed from Libya. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fabiano Deco. Without much ado, I will be coming right back tomorrow, maybe to talk about why not those who have, of course, made it to the final stages of the competition, and those who will be looking towards a 3rd place tie, ladies and gentlemen. Before we meet again, I am your humble host. Thank you for watching, and see you shortly.